Welcome back. On this Victoria Day, we are celebrating some of our most memorable animal stories. And tonight, we are re-airing some of the most popular tales. This next segment is dedicated to our feathered friends in the sky. These beautiful peacocks enjoy their freedom, but don't usually venture too far from the park. Well, the story of one bird escaping from its coop in Nanaimo was a story people could not stop talking about. During spring break, Lucy, the elusive emu, saw an open door and ran away. The week-long search that followed proved that tracking down the flightless bird was a lot more difficult than anyone expected.
You sweetheart. You like being home, don't you?
Tim Jenner is spending some quality time with his feathered friend, Lucy, his male emu. They're reunited again and resting easy after the big bird went on a 6-day spring break adventure.
All of our birds are, you know, they're part of the family, so it's good to have her back. Him back.
The emu went on the lam when Jenner accidentally left a gate open at their River Road acreage.
What's going on here, buddy?
Numerous people spotted Lucy, but the 150-pound bird proved elusive, all the while becoming a hit on social media. But people watching like a hawk spotted him several times.
Just amazing. I couldn't believe it, right? It's such a fluke to be on this back road that no one drives on. I was just up there checking for downed trees from this last storm we had and like that, and there was Lucy.
Then the final tipster on College Drive has Lucy corralled in his backyard. After several hours, Jenner and animal control officers arrive, and Jenner coaxes Lucy to a waiting truck.
It took very gentle handling. The owner was an expert in handling emu.
I think the wing walking part of it was, it wasn't pleasant for either of us.
Jenner suffering some bangs and scrapes from the scared and frustrated fowl along the way.
Oh, I really appreciate everybody's input. I mean, we couldn't have got her if we didn't have everybody communicating with each other. We're both hurting units right now.
Jenner just glad his emu's escapade is over and he can return to taking care of Lucy and his other 20 birds.
A Tofino fisherman has caught a lot of weird things in the water, but never something quite like this. It happened last year. An eagle was trapped, unable to fly away. The fisherman spent hours taking care of the bird. The unusual experience, all caught on video.
I was reeling it in and I heard this scream, and the rod just screamed out, and I thought, man, I got a good one here, right on the surface.
Randy Sadler and his son Dawson were on his commercial fishing boat off Nootka Sound, waiting for a load of gooey ducks. They decided to kill a bit of time by throwing one of their own lines in the water with the new kite tail flasher Randy designed. And not long after that, he'd hooked something big.
I was in the cabin,
okay,
and Dad yelled, "Get the camera!" So I ran and grabbed the camera, and I saw the rod was just bending like we got a great big salmon on it. And then I looked back and there's an eagle floating back there.
Got a nice eagle on the kite tail. There's the kite tail.
Okay, buddy, you gotta come see us now. Grabbed the fishing rod and there's this eagle. You know, he wasn't flying by this time. So I had my boy Dawson put the boat in neutral and we reeled this poor old eagle up.
The eagle had obviously thought the flasher was a fish and went for it, but wouldn't let go, and it got a little hooked up in the process. It was finally freed at the boat's edge and tried to fly or swim away, but was clearly having trouble.
At least dry off its wings. It's soaked. It can't do anything.
So they went to get it, scooping it onto the deck with a fish net and covering it with a t-shirt to calm it down.
Drug him and the fish net because he wasn't going to let go of that fish net. We drug him into the wheelhouse, and then we turned the stove up, we shut all the windows, and just dried him off.
How long did that take?
It took about 2 hours, I guess.
Randy even gave the eagle several spoonfuls of sugar water, which it seemed to enjoy. Then when it seemed sufficiently dry, he gave it a gaff hook to perch on. Then the eagle flew away.
Oh, it felt good to see him. Yeah, we watched him, he went up and he landed on a big cedar perch there, you know.
We showed the video to an eagle rescue expert at Mountain Air Avian Rescue Society near Courtney, who says the fishermen did all the right things.
It is remarkable, and it's great that they did it. There's, 1,000 things you could do wrong, so they managed to get the job done and release them. They made all the right moves there.
It can take years to find one's passion, but for one Victoria man, it was living in his backyard. With hummingbirds buzzing around, Eric Pittman began filming them, studying them, and even sharing his footage. His live webcam has been seen by 500,000 people, and now his hummingbird hobby is turning into a career. Teeny tiny, very fast, and well camouflaged, hummingbirds can be hard to spot.
A lot of people walk by the nest, they don't even see them.
But once Eric Pittman noticed a nest in his backyard 5 years ago,
This little section of my backyard is kind of like the nursery.
he picked up a video camera
This is what I do now for like about an hour.
and hasn't stopped filming since.
So, you know, once you start to do it, and they're always around, it's kind of addictive.
Captivated by how the birds develop and how they learn to survive.
I'm amazed at how tough they are. You know, the mother birds have to feed 3 birds themselves and 2 chicks. And sometimes in the dead of winter, it's astonishing that they can find enough to eat.
He names his birds, and this little one is Rain. Just days old, her feathers were slow to develop, and she still relies on her mom for food.
I hope she makes it.
Pittman's high-quality videos and the live webcam are captivating hundreds of thousands of people around the world who flock to his website, Hummingbirds Up Close, for an unfiltered look.
We're seeing a whole new side of hummingbirds, how they raise their babies, how the babies fledge. It's really, really cool.
In 5 years, he has documented over 60 hummingbird nests, from egg to flight, making him one of the top experts in the world, even making new discoveries.
Yeah, before I started following the birds in my backyard so closely, people didn't know that hummingbirds had more than 1 nest a year. But because I'd been following this particular bird, we were able to prove that it had 4 nests in a year.
And what started out as an unusual hobby is now turning into a career.
I got an email about 3 weeks ago from BBC Wildlife Films. And they'd seen some of my film, and they asked me to come and help them film a rufous hummingbird in Alaska. So they need someone who can find a rufous hummingbird nest and set up the cameras. So that's what I'm going to go do.
Pittman's unique skill is bringing us up close to one of nature's fastest and flightiest creatures. Eric Pittman left for Alaska early this month. He's spending several weeks there hoping to spot a rufous hummingbird, and if successful, setting up cameras to film the tiny birds. A group of surfers near Ucluelet tell an incredible tale. They first spot seals, then killer whales. We'll tell you what happened next after a short break. Stay with us.